Hello friends, and welcome back to class today. I am Miss Bird. I am so glad you're here. Remember, this week we're talking about snow and snowmen. So I have a really super fun dance and song we're gonna do today. Are you ready to join me? This song is called the Snokey Pokey. If you ever have heard the Hokey Pokey, it's like that, but it's a little different. So join me as you know the song. You put your right mitten in, you take your right mitten out, put your right mitten in, and you shake it all about. You do the Snokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left mitten in, you take your left mitten out, you put your left mitten in, and you shake it all about. You do the Snokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your right boot in, you take your right boot out, you put your right boot in and you shake it all about. You do the Snokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left boot in, you take your left boot out, you put your left boot in and you shake it all about. You do the Snokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your hat in, you take your hat out, you put your hat in and you shake it all about. You do the Hokey Pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Awesome job, friends. Whew. That was a lot of dancing and a lot of fun. Let's do some breathing to get our bodies ready for our reading circle. Let's take a deep breath in and let it out. Deep breath in and let it out. Let's rotate our head. Get our bodies focused and ready. One more time. Oh, awesome job, friends. We are all stretched out and ready for our reading circle. Come on over and join me. All right, welcome to our reading circle today, friends. I have a super cool book I'm gonna read to you all. It's called How to Catch a Snowman. As I'm reading this story, I want you to think about all the different ways the people in this story try to catch a snowman. And we're gonna talk about that at the end. Let's get into our story. How to Catch a Snowman. When the moon is full on a snowy night, something magical happens if the time is right. It's not an old silk hat that brings me to life, but the enchanted snow star shining down at midnight. I don't thumpity thump or give warm hugs. That's for my friends to do. These clever kids will try to trap me, but who will catch me? You? That first trap was a good attempt. Your running made me smile. Your net of scarves might have done the trick, but it's left you all in a pile. Now, this trap is an improvement, and my escape is no guarantee. But I'll skate fast, and with a spin, you're covered in snow like me. So they tried to use the gold to catch the snowman, but it didn't work. A snowman who loves summer, I've heard of this before. What you didn't know is I can fly. Stand back, and watch me soar. Chasing me down the hillside, you're really good at skiing. But when I bounce into a snowball, I'm really good at fleeing. Uh-oh. He rolled himself into a big snowball. Now he's getting away from him. I have to admit, the trap you made was a clever use of snow. But I can see that it's a trick. It's time for me to go. Look, what did they build? They built an igloo to try and catch him, but it didn't work. A snowman shop, that's quite a treat, made special just for me. Perhaps I'll grab a hat or scarf, or maybe 2 or 3. You built me with a carrot nose. I think that's kind of cute. But cuter still is trying to catch me with vegetables and fruit. So they're trying to put the trap over him as he was shopping. This winter wonderland is great, so bright and full of fun. But snow globes can't hold me up for long. Too bad, I've gotta run. Woohoo! Your sleigh ride sure is fun. I love gliding down this slide, but I think I'll skip the trampoline that ends this jolly joy ride. He's realizing all their tricks. He's not letting them trick him into catching them. Now, that was one fantastic trap and very well thought through. Nice try, well done, magnificent job, but I'll still escape from you. Once I've escaped your final trap, you get called in for dinner. As the sun sets, it seems to me that I am the contest winner. You try so hard to catch me. I'm glad I'm free, it's true. But perhaps before I'm on my way, I can leave a gift for you. Look, he left them a snow sculpture, so they'll always have a snowman to look at. The end. Wow, those children were so busy trying to catch that snowman in that story. Did any of their traps work in catching that snowman? No, that snowman was smarter than that. He realized their tricks and their traps that they were trying to make to catch him. So, what I want you to do is to think about, if you were gonna try and catch a snowman, what would you use to catch that snowman? So I want you to get paper and crayons and draw out your own trap that you would use to build a snowman. And then go show your adult and tell them about your trap and how you would catch a snowman. I hope you enjoyed our story today, and I'll see you next time.
Kindergarten is great at Kansas City Public Schools.
I know they have really good teachers. I know this is a great school.
They teach them stuff that I thought my kids would never be able to know at the age of 5.
Since deciding to send our kiddos to a neighborhood school, we've become even more of a part of our community.
Now is the time to enroll your future kindergartner for the new school year. Visit enrollkc.org today.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Overish, and I'm so happy you're here to learn with me today. Today, we're going to be talking about our numbers 1 through 20. Sometimes when we're counting, we might think about the number that comes one before or one less. One way to practice what number comes before or what is one less is by counting backwards from 20 to 1. Let's go ahead and do that together. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Today we're going to practice putting numbers in our tens frames to show the number that comes one before or one less. Let's get started. We have our numbers 1 through 20. We also have 20 counters or squares down at the bottom to help us. You'll see here we have 2 tens frames. Our 2 tens frames help us organize our numbers. When I'm looking at my tens frames, I notice that there's boxes on each frame. Let's see how many there are on each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 spaces on this tens frame. Let's count the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 spaces on this tens frame. When using our 2 tens frames, I can use all 20 blocks to fill our 2 tens frames. Today, we're going to use our tens frames to help us take away one less or see the number that comes one before another. Let's go ahead and get started. What number am I representing on my tens frame? What number do you see? How many squares are covered in my tens frame? I see 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm showing the number 4 on our tens frame. Now I'm going to ask you the question. What number would be 1 less than 4? If I took one of these away, what number would still be shown on our tens frame? What number is 1 before 4? Do you know? If I take away 1 away from my tens frame, I now have 1, 2, 3. So 3 is 1 before 4, or 1 less than 4. Let's try another one. What number do you see represented on our tens frame? How many spaces are filled? Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 boxes are represented. The number 8 is being shown in our tens frame. If I ask you what's 1 less than 8, can you tell me? If we take away 1 square, what will we have left? What is 1 before the number 8? I take away 1 square, and what do we have left? We have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice job. Let's try a bigger number using both tens frames. What number is being represented? Can you count the amount of squares that you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I see all my spaces are filled on this tens frame, which means I have 10, and 2 more, which means I have 12. Now I'm going to ask you, what number is 1 less than 12? If I take away 1 square, how many will I have left? What number is 1 less or 1 before 12? I take away 1 box. I know I have 10 filled on this side, so I have 11. So 1 less than 12 is 11. Let's try one more. We're going to try a really big number together. What number do we see represented on our 2 tens frames? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 17 spaces filled on my 2 tens frames. I have the number 17. Now I'm going to ask you the question, what number is 1 less than 17? If I take away that last square on my tens frame, how many will still be represented on my tens frames? 1 less than 17. I take 1 away. I know I already have 10 over here, so I can count this box starting 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 1 less than 17 is 16. Can you ask an adult for a piece of paper and then something you can draw or write with? On that piece of paper, can you draw 4 of something? Maybe you want to draw 4 squares or 4 circles. Maybe you want to draw 4 smiley faces. I'm going to ask you, after you draw your 4, to then take 1 away. Can you cross it out or put an X over it? How many do you have left? What is 1 less than the 4 that you drew? You drew 4 pictures. If you cross 1 out, 1 less will be 3. Nice job. Today we talked all about our numbers 1 through 20. We even used our tens frames to help us organize our numbers into groups of 10. We were able to talk about our numbers that come 1 before or are 1 less. We were able to practice this by counting our numbers backwards from 20 to 1. Let's do that one more time together. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Thank you so much for coming and learning with me today. My name is Mrs. Overish, and I'll see you next time.
Hello, my name is Courtney Hawkins. I'm a parent of 4 children that are going here, well, 3 that are going here currently, and then 1 that is now in middle school. But we've been with Holiday Montessori since my oldest was in preschool. And probably one of my favorite things about this school is just the family environment. I love coming in the school and hearing, hi, Miss Hawkins, and then just the care of the teachers let you know that your children are well taken care of. And we've had some teachers, all of them have been really good teachers, and we've had some that have been really good at challenging and inspiring our kids. I had a teacher that noticed my daughter's advancements in reading, and she kind of pulled her aside and gave her additional work that kept her moving forward and kept her challenged.
Hello, my name is Sahara Hawkins, and I am in the 8th grade. I am Harold Holiday alumni. I've gone here from the P4, which is a bit before kindergarten, all the way up to my 6th grade year. When I left Holiday Montessori, I felt really prepared to go to middle school because here at Holiday, I think their academics are very rigorous, and they prepare you for middle school because they give you due dates, they start giving you due dates and things like that. Assignments that are due weekly, which prepares you for middle school because there are assignments that are due weekly or daily. And then I just felt very prepared in general because they start doing less material and they start really just working on your communication within the middle school and how that transition is going to look like and what that transition is going to look like. So I just felt really prepared and like I was going to have a good transition in middle school.
We also have a teacher that my oldest son has right now that noticed some of his interests and encouraged him in that to do some research, thus combining the passion and the learning together. So we really are appreciating the teachers that our kids have had.
Hello, my name is Joshua and my grade is 5th.
My name is Micah and my grade is 1st. I like my teachers because they're nice.
I would say you should definitely join the Harold Holiday Montessori family because first, it's very opening and it's a welcoming environment. You have great teachers from all different backgrounds and they come in and they come to teach your child, but also just to help your child through life. They not only teach you like your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, but they teach you motor skills and life skills that from a very young age that you may not think that an elementary school would teach you. And overall, it's a very diverse school in general, and it's in a good neighborhood.
Overall, I would encourage anyone that's considering coming to Holiday to come and just join this family environment of hands-on learning. And they've got great before and after school program. The LINK program is awesome. A big part of what contributes to that family environment. And we have a forward thinking and moving principal that it's done a lot with the school changes in the school that improve the morale of the students and the staff here. So it's just a great environment to be in, and I encourage you to come and join the family.
Thank you for visiting Holiday Montessori School. If you'd like more information about our fine Montessori program, please call 816-418-1950 and we'll schedule a one-on-one tour with you. We look forward to sharing with you more about the great things that are happening here at Harold Holiday Montessori School.
Hello, Kansas City. Welcome to another fun episode of the show we are now calling Life After. To be a member of this show, you really just come on and tell us about your experiences after high school. And one reason that I started doing these interviews was to catch up with people, but also to possibly explore some options for young people who might be watching without them having to live all of those experiences in order to think about it. Sometimes we might see less opportunity in front of our own face than we realize is actually out there. And sometimes there is just less opportunity. So I'm joined today by a fantastic person that I knew way back from his work at Paseo Academy, a really special school in our city here in Kansas City. He lives up to that idea of it being performing arts, because I think Carlton was super involved in performing arts and performing. So let's wind back to that year. Carlton, will you tell us what year you graduated and kind of some of the highlights from that year?
So I graduated 2013, great class, 2K13. Highlights of that year, I was the president of the Show Me Arts Club. We traveled to Jefferson City to perform on the Capitol steps. And this was like an annual thing. It happened every year, but my year, being a senior, I was the president. So that was pretty awesome. I was amongst just a bunch of talented people. Everybody in my class was super talented, whether it was singing, whether it was dancing, creative writing, whether it was art, whether it was fashion. Everybody in some form of fashion was extremely talented. So our senior show was pretty awesome. I got the chance to perform twice, I think, during the show. And it was just a really cool year.
Yeah. So you primarily dabbled in what area when you were at Paseo?
So I was a vocal music major. So I was always singing. I can remember back to hearing some of my classmates like, dude, if you don't shut up.
Yeah.
But, I was a vocal music major. I performed not only with the choir, but I had done about 2 productions with the school. So one, my freshman year, I was the only freshman in that play full of upperclassmen, so juniors and seniors. And then my senior year, I was in a play called Godspell. I was one of 2 seniors. I was cast in that play. I was one of the main characters, so that was pretty cool.
Very.
And then I also got the chance to perform for Coffee House by way of Mr. Odom.
No, just by way of Paseo. I just got to be the lucky guy that really started a little tiny pebble rolling down a hill, and really just, they kept rolling and rolling. But you really were collaborating then, and
Absolutely.
right, I think that's what became neat, is that people had done the show also look for ways like next time to do it with someone else, or like a collabo started happening. So those are really special. Well, what do you remember that, I think we're kind of centering on this, what do you remember about some of those experiences that you think prepared you for what came afterwards?
Ooh.
One of those
So
deep
coffee
questions.
house,
Yeah.
coffee house is probably the thing that stood out to me the most. So throughout my time at Paseo, I performed in 7 coffee houses. I performed in 7 of them,
Wow,
which was
who's
super
counting?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's counting?
So
7. Wow.
my first one was pretty cool. It was a great experience. It was my third coffee house that I remember the most. I performed 3 times that night. I performed an original song of my own, and I performed 2 collaborations, with one with the rapper and then the other with another incredible singer. So that was pretty cool. But the process to getting to coffee house, the auditions were always awesome.
Yeah.
I was super excited to be able to judge or not the competition, but judge the auditions.
Yeah.
To help deliberate on who would be a part of the show. And just the feeling that you would get when you would get on the stage, when the crowd would see you and they would be excited, and to hear the conversations after the show. I think that really like pushed me into say, yeah, I really want to do this.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. I pushed through my nerves and played out live in Kansas City, probably since you've talked to me. And we played with the group I'm part of at Davies Uptown, which is local in our city. And boy, I tell you, yeah, the feeling afterward, there's nothing else, you know, like it is so worth all the worry and all the wonder and all the stomachs getting crazy and all those things happening. You know, it's so worth it when it's afterwards and you're reaping all of people's curiosities, like how long you been doing that, and why haven't I heard you do that before? And it is wild. That's like our real selves sometimes. So that's really special. So tell me, I think down the road you discover some use for this practice, like where we are now, but try to remind me, what was it like just to go out the door, to know you graduated? Take us back to that moment. What did you know, or how did you know what to do next, I guess, in that moment where you're kind of finishing high school and there's something else that's supposed to happen next? How did you know what to do, or what did you do?
So graduating high school, I would say life was very interesting. Once I graduated, I had my mind and my heart set on going to school. I was actually supposed to go to school in Florida. But there were some things that just did not work out for me to go to school in Florida. And at the time, I think because I was so disappointed by that, I just didn't go to school. I was so disappointed because my heart was set. I'm supposed to be out of town. I'm not supposed to be in Kansas City. I actually started dealing with anxiety because of it, because I just knew like I'm supposed to be doing something greater than just going to work every day and, you know, not feeling fulfilled. So towards the end of the year, I actually became the music director at my church. I took over the entire music department, the choir, the praise team. I just took over everything. And so from there, I just kind of grew as a director. It wasn't really something I was adamant about when I first started. I was just kind of like, all right, you know, whatever, I'll do it. But just like right after that, I started singing in a group called Versatile. We joined forces as a collaboration of the voices for our alumni showcase, which took place a year after I graduated. And from there, we just kind of kept going. So it was just kind of like maybe there's purpose in what I'm doing. I just didn't know what it was at that moment. But I often think back, like if I had gone to school, I never would have made the connections that I made, or I wouldn't have made them when I was supposed to make them.
You never know, right?
Exactly. So it's just interesting how life really took that turn for me. I continued to perform. I continued to hone in on my skills. I got so much better from when I was in high school to, you know, that point. And now I'm looking back, like, I don't think I would have changed that decision, because it helped me to become the artist that I am today, the person that I am today, by allowing life to take place, and just kind of accepting it and not allowing myself to stay down in that kind of sad and dark place. So
very cool. Thank you for sharing that. And that young people listening, other people who are not so young listening, right? We all have those. Like, life was what it was so we could get to the next part of life, and
absolutely
it seems to work that way no matter if you wanted to or not. And right, I was even gonna say stepping stones, and then I'm like, no, I'm thinking of TLC. Don't go chasing stepping stones.
Yes,
please stay to the that you're used to, right? So staying grounded, doing what you know you're supposed to be here for. I don't think stepping stones was that song really about like getting ahead. It was more like finding some secret way to get ahead or something, like
absolutely,
right? So I was gonna say, I'm like, no, that's not the right sentiment. Carlton's talking about much different than that, but it popped into my brain. So okay, fantastic. So you did a lot of soul searching and kind of resetting of some goals, and then pushed on, found your group that was versatile. I think I have that original disc still at home that you guys gave away. It's still there in my house. I can think of where so it's so
don't
cool.
find it.
And that there's more to show that's come since then. So speaking of that, bring us up to speed. I know just from listening and watching on social media, because that's one way I'm able to kind of find out what's been going on with people, some amazing stories that are kind of happening all over this city, where people are maybe wishing they had what their friend like Jay Soul kind of came out with an album, and then I remember you saying like, man, I got to do that, and then here you are doing that now, right?
Absolutely.
So I know it's a factor because everyone's still in touch with each other. It seems like such a neat, supportive network out there. I don't know that I ever dreamt working in Paseo and in coffee house kind of shows that everybody would stay that connected, but it's so special. So tell me what you're doing these days. Tell us what you're doing these days.
So I am an artist. I'm definitely in the community. I perform everywhere all the time. I have released an album. And it's funny that you would mention J Soul. I actually was a part of her album.
Yeah.
I was featured on a song on her album, and then she turned around and was on my album.
Wow.
And we've been in talks about doing more collaborations. So she's an incredible artist in her own right. I've had the opportunity to perform on the Kansas City Live Soundstage 3 times now. It's always been a dream of mine, and I said I can't wait to actually headline on that stage. That's going to be huge. I've learned as of recently, and I always knew, but learned that my words really do have power. I've been manifesting so many different things, and so that's one of the things I'm manifesting. Released an album this year.
What's it called?
Crazy. It's called Dear Future Love. It's my love letter to it's my love letter to my passion, to my art, which is music. But I mean, I think everybody interprets it completely different. So
gotcha. The muse.
But yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely gotten a chance to do the album. I've gotten a chance to write for some artists.
Awesome. Tell me, so I don't get the chance to sometimes interview people who are creating their own music also, and I do sometimes, but I always wish I'd ask, like, so in your craft, because you're creating your own, right? This is all 100% original Carlton. So what do you think is driving, what's some of the inspiration behind your music? What's kind of driving you to create this music? What's your artistic influence? I guess that's what I'm curious about. Where's that all coming from?
It comes from different places, honestly. I can be inspired by literally anything. I can be inspired by a conversation. A lot of the songs on the album were inspired by literally conversations that I would have with my friends, or I would be in Walmart and I would hear something, and I actually wrote one of my songs in Walmart.
Nice.
I wrote like 3 of the songs while driving. It's really weird. I can hear something and say, oh, okay, I like this, you know, and then I'll hear something else in my head, be like, okay, let me try to write this real quick. And I have to immediately put it on my phone, because if I don't, I'm gonna lose it. So
Does it come out? Does it come out of your pen, or does it come out of your voice? Which way?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Both. I've had moments where I'll start humming a melody and I'll record it, and then words will start coming out, and I'm like, okay, let me write this real quick. So it really just depends on, you know, how I'm feeling at the moment. I've written sad songs because I was just really like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I've written super happy songs because I'm just like, I'm in a great place. So I mean, it just really depends on the mood of what I'm feeling at that moment.
Gotcha. Usually I would ask this question, listeners, prior to the interview, but I'm going to do it now and see what he says. Could we have a taste of you singing a little bit of one of your pieces? Would it work a cappella? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So let me shut up and turn it on mute. Full screen. And we're blessed to have that chance today. I always, you know, and then we can finish this interview afterwards and talk about that piece a little bit, and maybe some advice you'd have for young people who are following their passion. So, absolutely. All right, everybody, you got it here. Your performer name is
Carlton Rashad.
Carlton Rashad.
She says she wants more than a friend. For me, that's all I've ever been. Deep down inside, I feel the same way. She says she wants love that never ends. I think I changed the key. On me, I want her to deepen. Like the water is to the beach sand, they go hand in hand. She knows what she wants, but I think what she needs is me. She knows what she sees, and I know what she thinks. We could be more. We could be more than friends. We could be more. We could be more than friends. We could be more. We could be more than friends. We could be more. Hey.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I agree. You've grown up some, man. That's really awesome. Thank you for sharing that. It's so important to feature the voice. If you wouldn't have told us, we would have rolled with that nice run. And right. So I hear a little Stevie in there. You think you got a little bit of Stevie in that? Or like, who do you hear when you sing? Do you hear any other people from the past? Or I don't mean to insult anyone by trying to like categorize you, but like I was thinking like, isn't she lovely? You know, I was like, isn't she wonderful? Yeah, I would like to think I could sing. So there was some of that like tone in there, right? Like it was so rich and beautiful. Who do you think you sound like?
So I love Stevie Wonder. Stevie is definitely one of my favorite artists. I have been compared to quite a few different artists, and all of them I love. Stevie is one of them. I've had mild comparisons. I've been told that my tone sounds similar to a mix between Donny Hathaway and Layla Hathaway, the father and daughter.
Wow.
I've been compared to Brian McKnight, who is a huge compliment. I love Brian McKnight.
Oh yeah, that raspy part, right? Like,
oh yeah,
he's got a skill there. Yeah.
I love Brian McKnight. I love Usher, Justin Timberlake. I love Beyonce. So sometimes I like to try to mimic those artists just to pull from them.
Sure.
And then I also love like Karen Clark Sheard, Kiara Sheard, Smokey Norfolk, Marvin Gaye. It's Marvin, so
yeah, that's fun stuff.
It's like Michael and Prince, so
very nice. Well, that's exciting, and I can hear some of those influences. I by no means don't mean to put anybody in a category or box or anything.
No, not at all.
so neat, and I can hear your growth. So you got to where you are now, and you're living a life as an artist. Is that your sole proprietor, like, is that carrying your load, or you're finding that you're still pushing toward that a little bit and supplying your income with some other ways too?
So it's a mix of both, because I am paid well with music.
Awesome.
But I do also have a full-time job as well. I work for Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Kansas City. So I'll do my job with Boys and Girls Club, and then primarily perform in the evenings or on the weekends, or may have an interview during the day that I'm able to.
Wow. So can we explore that then, since that seems like you must have a reason for working for Boys and Girls Clubs? Like,
absolutely.
I didn't expect that. I didn't know that at all, and that's super special. Can you tell like what draws you to doing that kind of work, and what do you do there?
So here I am the membership enrollment administrator. I handle enrollment for the organization. I work with all of the membership coordinators and the unit directors and program directors in getting kids into the buildings. Before that, I was a group leader and a lead staff at one of our sites, the Great Thornberry unit. But what got me into working with youth is the fact that I always just had a natural passion for wanting to inspire youth to aspire higher, and to helping them to understand that there is a greater purpose beyond just the things that you can see. And so I've always just wanted to show them by my own actions that, it doesn't matter how old you are or they think you are, because, sometimes kids can be a little disrespectful with your age.
Oh man, especially if you don't have any hair. Right. I understand.
Right.
What happened? I hear that a lot. What happened? Like, life.
That part. Right. Life happened.
Life. Right. Time. Yeah.
But I just want to show them with my actions that there's no limits to what you can do. If you just dream it, you work hard, you focus, you can get to where you want to be. I remember being a kid, and when I grew up saying I want to sing, and I always said like, oh, I want to be a famous singer, and I do. I would love to, be on those grand stages. Grand stage for me is Essence Festival, the Grammys. I speak that I will receive a Grammy. I will receive multiple Grammys.
Awesome.
But I just want them to know that, you can be whatever it is that you want to be. I remember watching my favorite artists and hearing their stories and seeing where they came from, and seeing that they did everything that they said they wanted to do. And I was like, I can do the same exact thing. So I want to show that to youth, that they can do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. I think being an artist is probably one of the more challenging things to do with yourself, but also really fulfilling. And as far as feeling like you're getting to have some control on what you do with your time and energy, and what you build with that, and how you have a body of work, it's got to feel really fulfilling. And
it does.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I recently was talking to one of my friends. We were standing outside, and this gentleman rolled up in his car. He drove up in his car, and he said, you're so famous. And my friend and I were both standing next to each other, and I looked at my friend like, you talking to you? And he was like, I see you all over social media. I love your album. And at that moment, I was like, oh, he's talking to me. So, guy, I'd never seen him before, never met him before. But he's just like, I love your music. It's inspiring. I love to see you perform. You're amazing. Just all of these great affirmations. And I'm just sitting here like, wow. It just showed me that people really do pay attention.
Yeah.
Even when you don't feel that you have a lot of attention on you, they do.
Yeah.
Winning People's Choice Best Male Vocalist for Kansas City was another example of people actually paying attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's all just been one big ball of inspiration and motivation for me. So
fantastic.
I'm just trying to stay focused and.
Yeah, I know the feeling a tiny bit from this show, because it's been out there enough episodes that I've gone into places and been like, wait, did I just see you on something? And then
right.
Yeah, or even people writing to me and like, I really like the mission behind this show. I wrote to the KC Repertory Theater looking for field trips the other day. She's a fantastic connection that I had when we were at Paseo, and her name's Melinda McCrary. I wrote her, and she's like, "Hey, by the way, I love your show."
Oh,
I'm like, "No way!" She's like, "Yep, watched all of them." So, on that note, listeners out there, if you like this show, it's easy to find the rest of this playlist by just going to Google and searching "Life After KCPS." And Kansas City Public Schools has chopped these interviews all into little pieces, so you could go find people, that one interview leads to another kind of thing, and really see there's probably 45 different interviews out there right now. So Carlton, you might be 46, and if you're listening, we need 47, 48, 49. Like, keep it coming. This is so fun. And really what qualifies you to be part of this is that you do want to tell your story and expose kind of to the world the path that you discovered, and help young people think about what that's like, because it might feel a little daunting when we first get in that situation to make these choices. And it's a fun thing to think about before you get there. So I appreciate having you, sir. What's one thing you would tell Kansas City? Let's say they're all listening right now. What's one thing you would tell this town?
Like inspiration, or just what I would say?
You're talking to Kansas City right now. What do you think you want to say?
I would say thank you guys so much for continuing to show love and support to me, for continuing to show me that my work is not in vain. And I do want to let you know that your work is not in vain. Somebody does see you. Somebody does feel you. You are inspiring somebody else. So don't get discouraged in your well-doing. All great things come to those who do wait, but those that continue to work hard and continue to strive for bigger and strive for better. So don't get discouraged because people don't see you now. Let them catch up to your wave. That's something I was always told to me, is let them catch up to your wave, because eventually when they catch up to your wave, then they'll understand the greatness that is inside of you. So
fantastic. All right, you heard it here, Kansas City. Wonderful interview today. Thank you, Carlton, for being here. My name is Chris Odom. This has been Life After on KCPS TV. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Welcome to Foreign Language Academy, Kansas City one and only emerging school for Chinese and Spanish.
We are so happy to have you visit FLA. I'm Dr. Joel Ramsdale, the principal of Foreign Language Academy. We are the region's only international baccalaureate school that is authorized as a primary years program, as well as being in candidacy for our middle years program. We look forward to sharing more about our school with you.
Bienvenidos al cuarto grado. Immersion is the best way for a student to become fluent in a foreign language.
At FLA, we have a strong sense of community. Our parent-teacher organization meets monthly and organizes different events and activities such as Arts Night, where students can showcase their artwork and also enjoy live performances by students.
Each year, the 8th grade Spanish student fundraise to help support a trip to Costa Rica.
Children at FLA have an advantage, learning English as well as a foreign language. This will prepare them for not only being in the classroom, but beyond.
When our families join FLA, they select a school for their kids that is elementary and middle school. Our students are able to experience the full immersion program since kindergarten all the way to 8th grade.
Thank you for joining us on this virtual tour. We appreciate it. If you would like to learn more about Foreign Language Academy or schedule a personal tour, please call our school phone number, which is 816-418-6000. We look forward to sharing all of the great things that we're doing here at the Foreign Language Academy with you.
I chose manual because it's challenging and fun, and it can help me with college.
I chose manual because I wanted to get a jump start in my career with culinary arts.
I chose manual to acquire skills I'd use in real life.
I chose manual because I want to be an ER doctor, and being an EMT is my first step.
Kickstart your future today at Manual Career and Technical Center. Manual is open for all 11th and 12th grade students in both Kansas and Missouri. Learn more today at enrollkc.org/manual or call 816-418-5200.